You may be seeing people in the comment section or who are creating videos playing heavy PR defense for ADCC, which is fine in most cases. But I would watch for the following forms of rhetoric that I think are falling just a little bit flat. Loyalty. This is some top tier gaslighting. Athletes in other sports are able to leverage against other teams, organizations, factions in order to get the best payday possible. We don't have that in Jiu-Jitsu. This is like the first time the athletes have any say that is proportional to making a statement. And yes, I understand there has been incremental improvements in the ADCC structure that we have seen over the years. However, in 20 years, none on the pay. And as a result of that, I have to beg the question to those of you who are putting this argument out there. How long do you expect some of these athletes to wait? You are going to be effectively aging them out of contention. I think the Tackett brothers did it the exact right way. They gave you their notes, they told you why they're doing what they're doing, and they said that they're welcome to doing ADCC in the future. You would have to win ADCC 100 times to make the money that you could make at the Craig Jones Invitational. Prestige. Well, we saw that one kind of come and go very quickly. You saw that with the Tacketts. That was a pretty good one to begin with 2 trials winners, one of whom has done it twice. And then you saw Fionn and you said, yeah, that argument's completely out the window now. You were able to get a female champion where there was no promise of a female division, and you were able to persuade her to come over this side. The prestige is coming, and we've only seen it with more and more names in the past few days. And yes, even if they have a connection to Craig, it does not subdue the fact that they have done incredible things, not only for ADCC, but for other organizations. But why that weekend? You know, that's given off real, I wish these protesters could just find some other way to get their message across. It's called efficacy. You have it when you're able to push in and create change because you're applying some form of pressure. So I get it. Yeah, choosing that week seems like a little bit of a trolling method, and it is, but it's also strategic because it gives the athletes one of the few times that they have to leverage their participation to one or the other. And I gotta tell you, that's the heart of ADCC. It's not the flames, it's definitely not the production, and it's not the drumming. It's the athletes that's the heart of it. So if you go after that, then perhaps that is what's going to be the one that actually initiates the change. But it's ruining our sport. No, no, it's not. And listen, this could have all been avoidable if Craig had not just been dismissed outright. I know that Craig is funny, but dismissing him outright only opened the door for this competitive alternate to happen. It is a talent relations fumble because all you had to say was, Craig, you're out, all good. But instead, by dismissing the talent, you basically gave him all the pettiness he needed to go out and prove somebody wrong. Is this sustainable? You know what? It might not be. This could very well be a one and done situation here, people. And you know what? That might not be a bad thing. And if so, why do you want to shame somebody from their one opportunity to potentially win $1 million? You really want to go after them and say, like, you know what? I think it's a bad idea because reasons and mean. Fuck off, dude. Counter programming. So now we're getting people who are bitching that there's going to be too much jiu-jitsu for 3 days. Listen, it means that everybody's going to be at home. And what you get from that, from a TV perspective, is you will get real numbers. That means you will get YouTube giving you analytics for ages, demos, viewerships that actually means something to networks and other distributors, because people aren't interested unless you have a target demo. And guess what our target demo is? 18 to 34, which is the most desirable of all live programming that just happens to be sports. And guess who's never released those numbers? Flow. Ever. And I find it very curious that sometimes you don't release those numbers because you don't want it to go somewhere else. So why wouldn't you, if you want the sport to grow, want to have concrete numbers that would come from a free product on YouTube that could then potentially get you even more and more people to tune in on a bigger network? But I bought my ADCC ticket. Yeah, that's cool. Then go to ADCC. It's still going to be great. They're still going to pick really good people to show up at ADCC and compete in that tournament. I don't know why you think other people who maybe took second or third at a trials process didn't give their due or their sweat on those mats. and that they won't be entertaining. Andy Varela didn't outright qualify, but he's still one of the best and funnest individuals to watch compete. So, yeah, you're going to get people like him who are going to get those call ups. You're really just supporting the brand. You're not going there for one particular athlete. And even if your favorites aren't going to be there, perhaps maybe you should go to watch who the next stars are going to be, because I think more than anything, that's becoming more exciting than knowing that Gordon Ryan is going to win again. And guess what? 2 tournaments can do that for more people. There's a lot of shit we don't know. For example, people are wondering what's going to happen if the arena isn't full at ADCC. That's the risk you take when you pay $1.9 million extra just for a bigger space. No production in TV says, get me the more expensive venue, especially for a sport that apparently does not make more money. It seems like a foolish investment that now you're all worried about if it's going to fill or not. Is this going to be another Metamoris? Maybe. I mean, Craig made a point to bring $1 million on Joe Rogan just to kind of talk down that point. Even then, at least take them at their word, because we don't know it. End of the day, more grapplers are going to get their shot. They're going to get the opportunities to show their great jiu-jitsu, and a lot of them are going to get fucking paid. We have a mantra in jiu-jitsu where it's, I always want the best for the athletes. A lot of people say what's really become the reality here is if there is an opportunity to make more money, the argument might actually be that you want Mo or ADCC to be the ones to usher in that change. And I want to say this because I want it very clear. Let's not fucking take out revenge on the athletes that opt to go from one to the other. If you really want what's best, then you should be wishing those athletes well to go make their money. You're going to find that you're going to have a just fine event, whether you support the Craig Jones Invitational or the ADCC event. There's going to be a lot of great athletes. And they don't owe us a single explanation on where they're going to go. You're going to get a lot of scared athletes who are going to be too afraid to say anything, and that something might come back to them. They might get some sort of retaliation for the next ADCC, whatever it may be. But I will caution you with this last thing. We saw how that worked out with Craig. If you want another fumble on how you work with your talent, don't treat them like dicks, and don't make public statements that you're going to take shit out on them for doing what's best for them, because you don't want to also create your next competition.